All right, welcome to Rub of the Week, number 4.
Rub of the Week.
It is. The rub. The rub. Oh, that's the most important thing. I stuff up the start every time. That's tradition now. How can I stuff up the start? Anyway, the rub. We've got Tommy Hopkins here. The infamous man in our world anyway. So we've got...
I'm here too for support.
Support up there. You might not say much today, but hopefully we get a good conversation out of Tommy. Anyway, mate, tell us about your early life, where you're from, and we'll start from there, and then we'll get into it.
Thanks, Ninj. Thanks, Aaron.
That's all right, Tommy.
And Leo. So my name's Tommy. I was born in Belfast in Northern Ireland in 1972. Was I?
Is that
no, I fucked that up. No.
You're a bit older than that, are you?
Yeah.
I think she's my age.
No. I fucked that up. No, I was born in 1964.
Yeah.
No, I moved to Australia in 1972. That was it. So, grew up in Belfast, Northern Ireland during the Troubles, and lived there till I was 8. And then my mum and dad were part of that whole 10-pound POM thing where people were able to immigrate to Australia for not much money, and we made our way there. But I've been back to Belfast many times since growing up there, and it wasn't a great place to be living there. In those years, but obviously it was fantastic to come here. And we had an uncle who lived out this way, so we stayed with my uncle and his kids while my mum and dad sort of managed to get their own house together, and that was it. And I got the shit punched out of me every day because I had an Irish accent and fucking freckles, and I was pale. I thought it,
You weren't a smart ass or anything?
No.
You deserve it a bit?
No, maybe, I don't know. So anyway, that was life growing up.
Yeah, that was your beginnings. And tell us a bit more about Northern Ireland. You've told me a little bit in the clinic about the walls.
Yeah,
putting up the walls and what that's all about.
So I was last in Belfast, say 2 years ago with my wife, and just before COVID. And so when I lived there, and still today, they put up all these peace walls in Belfast, and basically in streets where there's Catholics live on one side and Protestants live on the other, and they can't get along because they fucking hate each other, they simply build a really big wall, and there's still today 72 peace walls, I think it's 72, peace walls in Northern Ireland that keep people separated purely on religious grounds, So, like if we were going to see a band tonight in the city, and people from all over Northern Ireland will go and see that band, and so people from one side of the peace wall will go there to make their way there on all sorts of transport, and the people on the other side will go there and they'll go see the concert and they'll have a fucking great time. But later on that week, they might actually be shooting at each other or throwing rocks at each other or setting someone's car on fire or whatever, simply because one's Catholic and the other's Protestant. But they simply live in streets where the city's divided by just big walls, much bigger than the Berlin Wall, much taller.
Yeah, 60, 70 feet high.
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah, you couldn't. Some of them you couldn't throw a ball over some of them. Wow. And there's other parts where they still lock the gates of one part of the city to keep people out from that neighbourhood, or keep people in from that neighbourhood, and people from another neighbourhood getting in there. It still happens today where they lock gates. And it's just completely fucked because, it's just, it's purely meant to be about religion, so.
Yeah. So that's kind of tarnished things a bit for you.
Yeah, well, but besides that, we put that together with priests fucking kids.
That's the recipe for a bad experience.
people, you're brought up Catholic and you're meant to be, everyone's meant to be doing the right thing. So, people are going out and shooting people and belonging to paramilitary groups, and then you come to Australia and there's still Catholic. You're involved with Catholic people, and you go to church because your mum and dad make you, and priests are fucking kids, and come on, why would you even want to have anything to do with religion? So,
yeah.
Religion's not a big part of my life.
Yeah.
I think I can be as good a person as I can be without having anything to do with any religious group at all. But, I respect to those that find peace and happiness in religion.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry, do we need...
No, it's all good, man. It's
I told him that no holds barred.
No holds barred. That's how it is. Tell us how it is.
He went bang early, didn't he?
But Aaron, tell me in a country in the world where the Catholic religion exists, where priests aren't fucking kids.
Yeah, well,
it's the world over.
Even what you said about the fact that Catholics and Protestants don't get along, it's part of the same religion. It's Christianity, isn't it? It's just a division. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they don't even know what they're fighting over.
No. And like you said, when they don't know about the religion thing and they're at a concert, it's just a human being having fun next to them. So
it's
interesting, eh?
Interesting place.
Yeah. Let's get on to a different. So you were saying before, we just had a session before this, so we had a chance to chat. We were talking about one of your real passions is actual light, and it is a passion of mine as well. I love looking at when we're making videos where the light's coming in, but I also kind of worship the sun and how it brings information to the world. We'd all be in the dark. We don't illuminate ourselves. We kind of everything is inherently dark, isn't it? But the light changes that, and so it changes the information that we're seeing. So, big part of your life has been as a roadie and as a lighting man. So tell me about your passion for light.
So I think when I was about say 14, 15, 16, around that age. Some mates of mine, really good mates of mine, they just played. We were a garage band, and just playing local sort of church groups and whatever halls they could get into. But obviously I couldn't play any instruments because I was fucking shit. So but a way to meet chicks was hanging out with the band.
Yeah.
So I became the lighting guy, and bought some lights and all that sort of stuff, and none of us had licenses, so their dads helped cart the gear there, and anyway, lighting became my passion, and I went on to over the next, say, 15, 20 years of doing that stuff, I ended up working for crewing companies around in Australia, in Victoria, and had the pleasure of working. And back then, bands like Cold Chisel, Midnight Oil, The Angels, Men at Work, In Excess were all pub bands. And so when you worked for crewing companies and you worked with local bands, you were working with basically a massive part of the Australian music industry, which I believe was an absolute pleasure to be part of. And you learnt the ropes from the guys that were the best in the game, and when we weren't doing that, then we were doing concerts, and all the big concerts would come to Australia, so we were working with U2 and Rolling Stones and Madonna and just AC/DC, all the biggest names in the world, and then Bruce Springsteen was out, and then I got an offer from one of the touring crew to come to the UK and work for a company called Meteor Lights in the UK as a lighting guy, and had the pleasure then of working with Pink Floyd and just Iron Maiden and Motley Crue and whatever, just all the big stuff. So lighting is just an absolute passion of mine, and I still love working with little small bands these days and just throwing a few lights in and creating some art, it's just, I don't know, it's something I love.
Yeah.
But I lived the whole sex, drugs and rock and roll lifestyle for a while.
Yeah.
And came out the other end, and lots of mates didn't, plenty of people got on heroin and fucked it up, and but Plenty of good times. But I had more good times touring Australia with a small band and a good bunch of guys than I did like ever with, you know, something like the Rolling Stones with 30 semi-trailers full of gear or whatever. But good days, great days. But you can't keep doing that shit forever.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy stuff.
And just can you speak a bit more about lighting, like in a show? You know, you said like you got 15 songs.
Yeah. So for me, like in my world, you know, an artist paints a painting and he puts it on a wall. You know, for me, if a band plays a ballad and I put some colour in there and I create something that suits the mood of the song, for me that's fucking awesome, you know. I get satisfaction from that, and you know, then the next song might be a really heavy rock song or a big, lots of different beat type song, and I've got to create a different picture for that song, and to me that's the art of lighting, but it's also the you know, it's like if they're playing 15 songs, I get to create 15 paintings in a sense in a night, you know, and maybe get some pretty cool photos. The days of picking up girls at the gigs are way beyond me. I'm a happily married man these days. So.
I reckon you still got it, Tommy.
Fuck off, Aaron. Tell me, how many chicks have you picked up carrying a bloke's fucking golf clubs around? Honestly.
You don't reckon there's a bit of sex appeal in caddying, do you?
Well, with your top button done up on a polo shirt and your socks tucked into your pants.
Yeah, I agree. Not the best one.
Me.
Is that his best effort, you reckon?
I reckon that's his best. Serious. What does that give you some sort of joy, Aaron?
Caddying?
Caddying.
I love caddying. I don't do caddying to pick up chicks. I knew the whole thing. Okay, you don't play golf to pick up chicks, surely.
Well, what is it? It can't be like lighting for me, surely.
Well, 100%. Nature, fresh air, competitive juices flowing.
But all you're doing is carrying a bloke's sticks.
Yeah, a bit of mathematics.
You're not hitting
it.
Some
yardages and figure out where the wind's blowing.
Bit of moral support, I reckon.
Bit of counselling.
Bit of social.
Yeah. Bit of social. You should try it, Tommy. I'll carry your sticks.
Mate, my uncle came out from Ireland once, and my dad said to him, take him for a round of golf because he loves golf.
Yeah.
And I took him, and I had a set of golf clubs, you know, borrowed, and he had a set. Anyway, we got down the first hole. He got there in like 2, and he was in 3. And I'm going fucking down and cross and down and cross. He told me to take the clubs back to the clubhouse and carry his bag for him.
No way!
Yeah, he wasn't playing with me anymore, so I carried his bag for 17 holes. I know what caddying's like.
Yeah, I reckon that's why you got a bit of resentment towards him. Your uncle, he cooked you over it.
Oh my God. No, it wasn't for me. Thank you.
Can you tell us just one crazy story about being on the road? Just one thing that sticks in your mind as being... This could go either way, couldn't it?
We'll try to...
Oh gosh, I have to. Yeah, I can't. I won't mention band names or anything like that. I'll just say on tours, like back in then, things have changed then, you know. But it wasn't unusual if it was his guy's birthday that, you know, they would come into, say, the crew room, and there would be his birthday present would be gaffer taped to the table, and you know that was his birthday present.
Yeah.
Like, probably best to
go from there.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
Yeah, probably best to leave that there.
And it just got. You had to outdo it all the time, didn't you? It was just like...
Yeah.
Just got bored, didn't you?
Yeah, and in Australia you're on tour buses, you know. You fly mostly between cities these days. In the UK, you're on a tour bus with like 8 guys, and so 4 sets of bunks of 2 people, you know. And so that you're travelling from, say, London to Birmingham or London and Manchester, whatever, on that bus. Whereas in Australia, that doesn't really happen so much because the distances are so far between cities, you know. Fuck, man, you're doing a good job. But yeah, look, glad I did it. It was just a part of my life. It was crazy days. You know, I took a risk going over there and hoping I'd get to work. There was no guarantees. I lived with a couple of Aussie mates who were just absolutely mental, and you know, the fire brigade were always coming to the house because they smoked so much pot, and the windows were open, and smoke was billowing out the windows, and the fucking fire truck would arrive, and the cops would come because I think the building's on fire, and it's just the boys, you know, having a barbecue in the room, just like mental, absolutely mental, but really good fun. And it gave me the opportunity. I was in Belfast, like I'd go over to Belfast almost every second weekend to spend time with relatives and cousins and have a good time. It was good.
Yeah, cool.
Good times.
Yeah. And I suppose let's change the pace a little bit. So you're talking a bit about on the road, you know, it's mental health, there's challenges, and I think that's probably something that's been a big part of your life, hasn't it? Like that mental health stuff. And
yeah, we so the gym I run, we have it's a gym, boxing gym. There's fighters train there, and then we have lots of classes for sort of general population, and then the rest of our time we're an NDIS provider, so we get a whole bunch of my day. You know, can have someone with cerebral palsy, someone with an acquired brain injury, someone visually impaired, a bunch of people on the autism spectrum, and then, you know, there's plenty of people with mental health issues, all that sort of stuff. Pretty passionate about all that stuff because, say, 3 years ago, my son stepped in front of a train and fucking killed himself.
Yep.
So, you know, from then, that took a bit of getting over. And, but yeah, so we get, you know, kids his age. He was about 25, so, you know, I call them kids, but, you know, so much mental health issues out there for young people these days. So when they walk into our gym and they're fucking ice addict, or they've, you know, whatever, got some shit going on, been kicked out of school or been kicked out of home, whatever, we get them all, mate, you know. So
yeah,
probably got a bit of a soft spot for them. And I tell you, the disability people, I fucking laugh so much. Not at them, I just laugh. They make me laugh.
Yeah.
They're just fucking funny people, you know. Whereas, you know, like people like Aaron, Joe Average, you know.
Laugh at him too.
Yeah, I'm laughing at him.
Not with
you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, look, we spent so many hours. I'd done my placement with a company, and I had to go away for weekend camps and away with people in wheelchairs and people with all sorts of forms of disability, and had a fucking ball. Love it. So yeah, that's really a big part of our life these days. We kind of have a gym where we seem to get people that don't fit into the normal mainstream gym system.
Yeah.
And they all, I don't know, we fucking attract them, all the misfits and, I don't know, strange bunch of people, but it really, really works well. And we've got a really good culture there. We've got a really good bunch of people who've been with us such a long time. We survived COVID and now, yeah, we'll probably never been busier.
Yeah, cool.
Good times.
Yeah, so yeah, Tommy's got a gym just down the road, boxing gym.
Yeah, Fit Life, it's called. Fit Life Boxing Club in Ferntree Gully.
Yeah, so it's very inclusive and yeah, he's accepting, isn't it? Like
Inclusive is a good word. So if you like gyms with lots of mirrors, hair dryers, fucking, what else do those joints have? All that shit. Don't fucking come.
Treadmills and shit.
Yeah, got none of that shit.
TV screens.
We don't have air conditioning, we don't have heating, we don't have anything. TV screen. And we'll probably...
Good lights though, Tommy, eh?
Good lighting and the banging
show. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. What a light. Friday night, we turn the lights and smoke on, and joint goes off. Ninja's invited.
I can even come, mate.
Leo's involved.
That's how inclusive it is.
Fucking golf boy.
Wouldn't get in with the top.
No entry. There's a ban on polo shirts, mate. You're not coming.
Tailored shorts.
Yeah, tailored. Oh my god.
Your face is so funny.
Oh god, that's a
Sticky. We've got another bloke.
Yeah, another bloke calls me Sticky.
Sticky. Stick bitch. He's got the stick figure too, so it's pretty fitting, I reckon. Stick man. Stick man.
Praying mantis.
I reckon it'll stick.
Sticks.
The other side to our business, which is the awesome side to it, is we train fighters there. Yeah, we have an awesome boxing coach, and we've got a bunch of fighters. We train masters boxers, so anyone over 34 years of age basically compete in masters boxing in Australia if you're any good, you know. So a whole bunch of us there have had a whole bunch of masters fights, and we're part of the whole masters boxing scene in Victoria, and it's absolutely huge. So we run 4 big shows a year. We get about 400 people to those shows, and it's probably about 20 fights on each event. So yeah, Masters Boxing Victoria, that's my thing. But we also, I've got a background in training. We've done lots of trips to Thailand where we train Muay Thai and get the absolute fuck punched out of us over there. We've done 5 trips. I don't think we've ever won a fight. I don't think we've ever won a round. We've even lost a fight in every bar we've been in. I've also got a passion for jiu-jitsu. I've done jiu-jitsu for probably 10 or 11 maybe years, and I just love that sport. I was with a bunch of pretty rough guys when I started out, and they kind of showed me the ropes, and that we took that crew went to America, and we trained with the Gracies in the United States, and that was a pretty awesome experience. With the jiu-jitsu bad boys, we went down to Compton to just check it out, sort of south central Los Angeles. That was different, but we had a good time there. And the Muay Thai boys, they're a bunch of guys from our gym. We tend to head over there and train Muay Thai and get the fuck beat out of us. But probably not a great part of the world either. Pattaya in Thailand is where we found the best training to be, but it's a pretty bad place at night. One of our mates got killed a couple of years ago in a really bad part of Pattaya, so tread carefully over there if you're heading there. I had pleasure of doing some MMA in the United States, down in Vegas, training with gosh, you're getting me there, Nick.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's
a real treatment.
Randy Couture and Wanderlei Silva both have awesome MMA gyms in Vegas, and when I finished with the jiu-jitsu boys, I went down on my own to Vegas to do some MMA training, and had the pleasure of training with some really good people in some really good gyms in the cage. So just another experience, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with say any martial arts or boxing and things like that, getting in the ring or competing, it's a really humbling kind of thing, isn't it? Like you're talking about jiu-jitsu and that before. Look, the thing that drives me crazy, it drives me crazy about jiu-jitsu, but I also love the sport, and I just the traditions of it. But the worst thing about it, when you box, you can kickbox, and you can do MMA, and you fight jiu-jitsu, and some fucking Asian nerd who's just finished his game of Dungeons and Dragons, and he's bloody 50 kilos wet, and you're 85, 90 kilos, and you're rolling with him, and he ends up fucking submitting you and making you tap like a bitch. And then he goes off and plays his next round of Dungeons and Dragons. It just fucking shits me. But, I just respect the art. I mean, there's an art to it. There's a science to it. If you learn it properly and not do it, just brute your way through it, the guys that are really good at it will always beat you, and so a little person can always beat a big person in jiu-jitsu. That's what sport's about. It's fucking humbling. It's annoying, but I just respect. I love the sport. And as far as boxing, there's no more sort of realness when you step through the ropes of a boxing ring. And there's a bloke standing opposite you who wants to punch the fuck out of you. You've never met him before. That's real. You know, there's only you and him.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a tough sport, but we do it. We do it every week. We love it. We all look after each other, especially in masters boxing, and we always have a beer with the guy that you just punched on with.
Yeah.
After you've done it,
Yeah.
Look, I love the art of boxing and the origins of it, and we try and keep that there. We get people that come in who are fantastic street fighters, and we have to turn them from that into a boxer, and to respect the sport of boxing and the history and origins of it. We want people to look like boxers, not like fucking street fighters.
Yeah.
Apparently Aaron can throw a punch.
Oh yeah, I nearly killed Jace a couple of years ago. Remember that?
Oh my god!
He went down remember he was hanging off the rings like.
Oh yeah, in the guts.
Yeah.
Maybe you can punch him later.
Well, that's what the plan was.
Finish.
The whole reason I was here wasn't it? Just to cop some zingers from
Could
Tommy.
you reckon you could take one, Aaron?
I reckon I can take one.
Can we do that later, Nick?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. Make sure if you get up to this point, hang around because I'm going to get as Tommy would put it, the fuck punched out of me.
One shot, Aaron. That's all I need.
Oh gosh, I'm a bit nervous.
I'm just thinking about boxing and things like that. Like it's sort of like it might seem like a crude sport, and there might be a bunch of misfits going into that thing, but there's still a lot of loyalty and trust and things like that, and camaraderie and community. You really back each other in and stuff like that. And there's something to be said about that, because a lot of people that think they're more sophisticated, you can't trust them, or you know what I mean. There's no loyalty there, and it's sort of lost that that old school human element. That you can who you're up against, type of thing. You sort of you're there for each other, and I really I like that about those kind of communities.
I also think it's important, like especially for young girls, 15-year-old girls. Today, I really think. When my daughter was young, I taught her how to look after herself and taught her how to do a bit of boxing and a bit of jiu-jitsu if she ever needed it. But I just think young girls today, I'd hate to. Even if it's karate, I'm not a fan of karate or any of that sort of stuff, but I just think for a young girl to learn anything to some form of being able to defend herself against fucking scumbags, it doesn't. Jiu-jitsu takes a while, Boxing, you can learn pretty quickly to just the basics to defend yourself, and some form of kickboxing and some form of martial art I think is really important. But then, even we have a Parkinson's group come in, there's probably 20 people in a Parkinson's group. They're all mostly, 50s, 60s type thing. And they all punch the shit out of the bag.
Yeah.
All our autism people, they just love the number patterns. So it's not about, for them, it's not about, getting rid of anger or stress, or some of it is, but it's numbers and patterns and rhythms, and they love all that stuff. It really works for them. People in a wheelchair, the lady still boxes. Cerebral palsy lady, we have a frame made for her that says she boxes. And even business people, corporate people, hitting something. I think it's primal. I just think,
it's the good stuff, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't have to be hitting another person. It just, getting rid of your stress, bringing your stress levels down, all that sort of stuff. I think there's a lot of...
It's healthy, isn't it?
There's a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah.
Other than the physical, what people see on television.
You get a lot of mental stuff out of it, but also the community. You can go back to that word again. Community is so important for humans to belong to something, to fit in somewhere and participate, rather than just being home playing computer games, I suppose. You can get out in society and have somewhere to go, and it's actually a healthy thing rather than a destructive thing. So
we have a really good, community at our place. A lot of the people have been I've been going since 2006, and a lot of those people have been with me for, since then. It's 15, 16 years, so... Yep. We've created a pretty good culture there. We've had lots of shit happen along the way. We've had lots of, I don't think you can get to this age and someone you know's got cancer, someone you know's fucking dead in a car accident, somebody's kid stepped in front of a train, It's just, but we tend to sort of all be there for each other, and it's...
Yeah.
I don't know, that hasn't happened. It's just happened, it's just evolved over time. And now, the stuff we work with Interchange out of East, they're a big disability mob out this way, but we just love having I love volunteer for them, and I love having their people come to our place. We're working a little bit at the moment with Special Olympics, and they're bringing out some of their swimmers shortly. People with disability, make me smile. They're fucking... Sometimes they're better to be around than people who don't have disability. That we've all got challenges. We've all got bills to pay. We've all got, shit going on. But so have they. But it's just different shit to the shit we got going on. But still got fucking shit going on.
That's it. Yeah, they humble you.
Yeah.
It's good. You learn a lot from them, don't you?
I do. It can make me smile. It's good to be around.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk to you a bit about our relationship, our personal one. Like, I suppose just two blokes getting together. Like, normally you'd probably go to the hairdressers and, you'd have a chat with them once a month or whatever. What do bald blokes do? You got to find another bald bloke to have a chat with in a situation that's socially acceptable. So get the work done. What do you think?
How it worked for me was Aaron used to massage me, right?
Oh, you didn't like him because he had hair?
He went off to play fucking golf, right? To be somebody's bitch, carrying some sticks.
Back to the master. I think you ninja first.
Hang on. Did I? Yeah. So I had to try them both, and Aaron pissed off to do his top button off and play golf or whatever, and I ended up with a ninja, and fuck me. Best massage I have ever had.
Didn't know what I was
So what am I going to do? Like take a step back and
go back?
No,
you can't go back now. You can't go back.
So forget it.
You've got to go forwards in life, haven't we?
Yeah. So hooked up with the ninja, and he puts me together every week. I'm back doing jiu-jitsu again with a mate. We train once a week. We're boxing with the fighters all the time. We've got fight coming up. And I'm on the pads all the time, and my shoulders are fucked. The ninja looks after me. He puts me together every week, and we have a good old chat while we're at it.
Yeah. So for me, the chat with blokes like Tommy it's just priceless. Like we just sort of let our guards down and we talk real stuff. So I think that's really important thing to be able to connect with another human and let them know your vulnerabilities and all your challenges you've got in life and kind of share it, because it's, a problem shared is a problem halved. And because we're both going through different things at different stages. You've had different, like marriage stuff and I'm having different issues going on with me and how to negotiate through that is a really important thing. And I just sort of, I just try to impart my wisdom and he does back to me, and I think it's a good combination. So I think it's good situation. You got to try and seek out these kind of things, or keep on searching until you find the right people that can help you. And we do talk really deep stuff, and we have fucking heaps of laughs all the time. Like Aaron's in there. Next room.
I'm shooting into the next room and you just hear some cackling from Ninja, and I just know Tommy's just giving him a zinger, and it's gone.
Yeah, so I think it's important. It's part of why we're here on the planet, I think, is to share, and finding enlightenment up in a cave, up in the hills is probably not where it's at. It's down here on the coal face in the trenches, and sharing it. And I've just been trying to, frame things differently. I think is a really important thing to do. Like one of the little lines I gave to Tommy today was attachment is a source of suffering. So one of those things to ponder on, like you can think about it on a physical level where a tendon attaches onto the bone, that's where all the stress is, that's why we've based all our treatment on these kind of things, but kind of attachment to ideals and ideas or wishing things were a certain way or they didn't happen, things like that. Like things that you can't change, trying to change the unchangeable. You just can't. It's just sort of unrealistic, So if you're attached to that, you're going to be suffering. So to try and frame things in a different way and make it like it's your choice, so that it's the way it's working out. So everyone involved, say in a relationship, can be happy and be fulfilled, And you just got to let go of those outside injected or society injected kind of ideals of how to live and how you should be and things like that, and be yourself. So we all should be able to get along and be happy.
I just would like to add too, and again, you blokes have obviously got each other when you need it, when you've got shit go down. If I go back 3 years when my son passed away, and again, I'm a fighter. We box, we do whatever we do. Yep. So you would expect blokes like that to be tough guys, but. Yep. I really found the most important thing to me was I had 2 really good mates who I could ring up, I could pull my car over, fucking tears coming streaming out of me. I could ring me a couple of mates, I won't give names, a couple of mates, I could ring them, they'd meet me somewhere, we'd go for a walk or we'd go and have coffee, whatever, and then fucking give me a big hug and help me get through the day, And that happened a heap of times in the first 6 to 12 months. And I just think blokes are too fucking blokey to sort of admit, would you agree, Aaron?
Yeah, 100%.
Blokes are too blokey to sort of go, I'm too fucking tough, I'm too cool, I'm too much, whatever. Like, I don't know how many times when people said to me, who came into the gym, they go, how you going today, mate? I go, I'm shithouse. I'm fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. Honest.
Like, people just go, oh yeah, no, I'm good, when they're not, I reckon if you're having a shit day, fucking say it. No, I'm shit today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into it, but I'm having a shit day. And, without me having a couple of mates where I could ring up and go, fucking cry my eyes out. Mate, I need to see you. I need to talk. Me mate would, meet him in an hour or whatever and we'd have a chat and I can sort shit out. But don't be so blokey that you got your head up your ass and you don't think you need fucking help.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have got good mates, you got each other, you got to have someone that you can reach out to and be honest to go, hey, I'm not fucking going so well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise, you'll be the next fucker stepping in front of a train,
Yeah.
So...
Well said, Tom.
What do you think, Leo?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I reckon you should punch Aaron in the guts after that.
Fucking hell.
Alright, let's do this. Put a glove on, mate.
So you got
Can't believe this is actually happening.
He wants it.
Oh. Okay.
I want to get a front row seat in front of the... Yeah.
Right here, Tom.
Hit the belly button.
Do I get to hit you 6 times or one?
Where did I get Jace? He can't go.
His legs go up to here.
Yeah. It's here. There's my belly button there.
Belly button.
Can we put a little bit of chalk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is it?
Yeah,
There.
that'll do.
Oh my god. You're not there. That's where I got Jason. He nearly died.
No, Houdini.
Houdini died. No, here. No, not there.
Fuck Houdini. Put your hands behind your back.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
Be a fucking...
Oh gosh! Oh, come on, Tony!
You got cushion.
I survived. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, brother. That was awesome, man. That was epic.
Yeah, hopefully everybody out there enjoyed our little chat with Tommy. We might have to put a few bleeps in there, but don't let that get in the way of the message that came through. So yeah, thanks, mate. Love you, man.
Pleasure,
Thanks, Buck. being the best customer we got.
Thanks, Tommy. We love our Mondays when Tom comes.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Done.